We have, today, it's the most accessible song catalogue in the world, alongside the Beatles, Lennon and McCartney, and that covers the United States as well. I can't ever recall a moment where we tried to be a certain thing. We just had fun and wrote songs, and our only concern was those songs be sung and recognized. It's been very fulfilling to be a composer. I was just fortunate to be born into a family that had, one of the best composers in the world to work with, and how great can that be, Growing up in Australia, you've got all these stations. We were exposed to American black music, which really influenced us in a great way. That time we spent in Australia was invaluable because we wouldn't have been exposed to that kind of music had we been in the UK. Both Barry and myself, we always see it that we're composers first, recording artists second, and performers third. We've always loved the studio. To us, it's like an artist, a painter's studio. You walk in, it's completely empty, nothing's happening. It's like a clean canvas, or an author with a clean page. And you just think, what are we going to walk out of here in the next 12 hours or so, or whatever. We've been very fortunate to have people cover our songs, as well as later on writing for other people. From Islands in the Stream, Chain Reaction, If I Can't Have You, Boy's Own Words, Rowan Keating, and Take That doing How Deep Is Your Love, Emotion by Destiny's Child, Ghetto Superstar, number 1 in the States, number 3 here. Ghetto Superstar, that is what you are, shining from afar. What was ironic about that is that it reverted back to the original way we'd written it those many years earlier for Marvin Gaye. It was kind of full circle, although we never met them and never knew them. Because somebody wants a song, actually makes us write a song. We like that. We don't write songs and then say to another artist, would you like to record this? We like to know if they want one, and then we'll say, all right, you definitely want one, we'll write you one. And if you don't like that one, we'll write you another. But if you want it, we'll write it. But we won't sit down and write it just and line up with a bunch of other composers. It's got to be, it's our way or the highway. And ego, call it what you like, but that's what drove and drives us. There's a lot of people emulate our sound as well. No, not just the melodies, but our sound. The producers of these records work really hard to get that sound. They know what they're doing. And they sound more like us than we do. That sound, not just the songs themselves, impacted the culture. What makes a good song is you can do a 3-hour session of writing and get nowhere. And then just as you're about to pack up, you say, oh, we can't get anything today. And then just as you're about to end the session, just in a room, it's the end of the session, so you play something. And suddenly you come up with something that makes the hairs on your back stand on end. And you've got something. You don't know what it is, but you know that if you have something, it's bound to affect other people. That was really the spark to the flame. Usually, you have to do about 3 hours before you get to where you want to go and when the brain opens up. It's worth it to come up with a great idea. The worst thing is to try too hard. The minute you stop and give up, the mind relaxes. And suddenly, it's the end, and then you start playing stuff, and then it happens. I don't know why that is. It just feeds itself. It writes itself. It's not a question about being a musician or playing an instrument to impress people. All music belongs to everyone, really. It's just, being passionate about it. Anything you're passionate about, as we have as composers, Barry and myself, Morris, it's a labour of love. It's about the emotional value, about human relationships. It's not a fashion thing. They'll always be the mainstay of popular music. Songs about human relationships and the human condition last forever.